As I've said about 100 times this year, never in doubt. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Mariners defeat the Padres 4-3. They win the series and finish up a solid 4-2 homestand. They improve to 72 and 62 on the season. As always, the big three. Like the video, it helps out tremendously. Comment your thoughts on the team and the game down below. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button. 50 subs away from 5,000. Let's celebrate a series win, a great homestand, and an off day, hitting a big milestone for my channel. Appreciate everybody for all of the support as always. Channel members, next Monday, my goal is to do a live stream for the Mariners and Rays game. Wanted to do one this weekend, just couldn't. And then the Guardian series is all afternoon games. It's just going to be too difficult to do. The Rays games are afternoon games too, but it's actually a little bit easier for me on the weekdays. So be on the lookout for that on Monday. And I'll have some videos up for you guys tomorrow, do some Sporkle quizzes and some immaculate grids for you all as well. So I hope you enjoy those videos when they come out. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Standings update, not really, don't really have one here because the games that are really important to the team are still in progress right now. The Mariners will either be a half game back or a game and a half back on the AL West pending the Houston Rockies game. And they'll either be three up or four up on a playoff spot pending the Royals and White Sox game. That's why I don't have it scrolling at the bottom, because by the time a lot of you watch this, it's not going to be up to date at all. So Mariners finish out a really impressive homestand. Absolutely needed it after the tough road trip, the 2-7 road trip. And they beat two teams playing good baseball. The Padres are a good baseball team. They just came off a series win against the Dodgers. They've been battling back and forth with LA for first place all season. That is a really good baseball team that the Mariners just took 2 out of 3 from. And even before that with the A's, talked about them and how well they've been playing. They're on the verge of sweeping the Tigers this week. And they beat Tarek Skubal right after that game against the Mariners on Sunday. So they're playing solid ball. This is a good homestand for the Mariners. It was a tricky homestand. And coming off a road trip like that where you go 2-7, easy to put a lot of pressure on yourselves. And we've seen it with this team where they just spiral down. They caught themselves, bounced back here with a nice homestand, and put themselves in really good position. Now it's time to go on the road, get this pitching dialed in on the road. Offense we know is capable, and have a winning road trip. Only 2 road trips left. This one, then the Houston-Kansas City one, or it's Kansas City and Houston. Heck, only 2 homestands left. 28 of these to go. And man, does 28 feel like a lot and not a lot at the same time? I don't know if I'm going to make it. This was another one today that, in that 9th inning, you get nervous about. It came down to the wire. 28's not a lot in the grand scheme of it for baseball. It's not. This is the nitty gritty now. But it's also enough time to mess something up, right? It's enough time to allow things to go bad, as we've seen in the past for the Mariners. So it's a lot and it's not a lot. It's going to go by fast, I will tell you that. There's a part of me that just wants to fast forward to late September and just tell me, are we in? Are we in? Okay, we'll go from there. Let's talk some playoffs, or we'll wallow in the misery of not making it together. But the team is in really good shape. Maybe the Rockies can steal one more from Houston for you, but it's going to be nerve-wracking. Again, I will reiterate, every loss is going to feel soul-crushing. Every win is going to feel like 10 wins. Even today, yesterday hurt, right? Like, oh man, is this the start of it? Bounce back and win today. So everything is going to be magnified right now. There's still going to be some ups and downs in the 28. They're not going to go 28. No, they're going to lose some baseball games. We just got to be patient and hope that at the end it comes out, well. And I mean, be patient. Like, obviously they lose go 0-9 on the road trip. I'm not going to tell you guys to be patient about that. But, if they lose Friday, hey, still got a chance to win the series. Just winning series, keeping the pressure on. If this team can go 15-13, it's going to be very hard for someone to catch them for a playoff spot. I don't know if it gets you the division. It'll be close. I think it definitely has an opportunity to do it, but it would be hard pressed to see Kansas City going 18-10 or even 19-9 potentially if you can do that. So just one game at a time, take care of business. Cleveland's still kind of hanging around. I think you win that series this weekend, they're probably toast. Listen, a lot of heroes today, right? Eugenio Suarez, who's on fire. Another home run today, another 3-run home run, his 42nd of the year. He's dialed in. Bryan, sensational again. Yes, he doesn't get his 6 innings. He gets his 6-inning streak snapped. Thought Dan made the right call. They're going to Gabe Spire. But Wu was still outstanding. But a guy I want to highlight that just, we talk about him, but probably doesn't get the credit he deserves is Edward Bizardo. 3 days in a row pitching and a lights out eighth inning, as good as he has pitched all season. That guy has been a workhorse bulldog for this bullpen. And he's one of those guys I don't want to know where they'd be without him this year. Obviously, Brash, Munoz, Spire are the headliners for this bullpen. But man, Bizardo has been outstanding. I know the baseball writers locally do the MVP, pitcher of the year, and unsung hero. Cal's going to be MVP. I'd be shocked if Bryan Woo isn't pitcher of the year. Maybe Munoz, but probably Woo. Bizardo's got to be unsung hero, right? I don't know where else you'd put it. Maybe like Polanco would be a guy in that mix as well. But just, man, Bizardo has been a lot of fun to watch. And he was really good at the end of last year. Again, last September gets forgotten a little bit because we were all just down on this team, having the 10-game lead and blowing it. But Bizardo was kind of a standout performer for that month. And he has carried it into this year and had a tremendous season. So just really pumped for him. It's been a great season for him. And he deserves all the praise that he's going to get from the fan base. So fantastic to see. Really nice to see Luke Raley contributing today. It's been a tough season for Luke, but he is someone that can absolutely help this team here with a month to go. And it's what's great about baseball, or it's great about any sport, and still being in contention, right? I mean, I've said it in multiple videos, but like Adam Frazier did not have a very good 2022. But man, like he delivers the huge hit in that wild card series. We won't forget it. So, even on down years for guys, when you're in contention, have a chance to get to the playoffs, you have a chance for memorable moments. You have a chance to do something special still for this fan base, for your teammates, for the city. So, really good to see Luke Raley deliver today, and hopefully he can contribute a little bit. And Dom's been a little cold, a little banged up, maybe not as locked in. So wouldn't mind seeing Luke get a few more at-bats here in the final month of the season for sure. Let's go ahead and dive into the box score today. If I can pull this up. Bryan Woo, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks. I feel bad that Woo's streak is broken. Again, Dan made the right call there. It's just a shame because it was broken up on kind of some dinky hits. O'Hearn hits one kind of at his eyes. He does hit Laureano. That's on Woo. But then O'Hearn kind of went at his eyes, hits it, just drops into left field. Sheets hits it hard, but it was a changeup that was perfectly located that he just kind of gets his bat out on, and it goes up the middle for a base hit. And then Iglesias, hits one with an exit velo of like -10 off the plate that Woo just can't get to in time. Makes a really good play on it, but can't make the throw. Probably fortunate to throw it away when you kind of rush a throw like that. You could tell Woo wanted those 6 innings. It was just unfortunate. The baseball gods didn't let it happen in that 6th inning. That's all I can say about it. Not taken away from the Padres. They did what they needed to do. It's a pesky offense. They're a team that's likely going to be in the playoffs as well. But Bryan Woo was absolutely fine. This wasn't like, oh man, it was snapped. The 6th inning streak was snapped. It just kind of happened that way today. But not only a fantastic start for Bryan Woo as he gets his 12th win of the year. Also, he throws 95 pitches, 65 for strikes today. Really nice to have a starter like Bryan Woo that, listen, Luis Castillo was not good yesterday. The pitching as a whole, really just Castillo and Ferguson yesterday were not good. Miller, is trying to progress back to where he was, but he wasn't great on Monday. But knowing you have a guy like Bryan Woo that can deliver after a couple down games, deliver when you need a win, right? Listen, they're not going to win all 28, but every game is kind of a must win in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like every game is one you don't want to let slip away from you. And to be able to have a guy like Bryan Woo that you can give the ball to, that, even at his worst, you're going to be in the baseball game. He's not going to let it get out of hand. The worst case scenario is like a 5-inning, 3 earned run or something like that, where you still have got a chance to win the baseball game. Just very comforting to have, a guy like that. So a great outing from Woo. Gabe Spire goes to 3rd of an inning, does get a strikeout. Unfortunately, hits Cronenworth with the bases loaded that leads to a run. Kind of a weird situation or scenario there, because I don't know why Cronenworth is bunting with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Kind of a weird spot to bunt, but he shows it. He pulled it back and the ball hit him. I wonder if him kind of showing bunt threw Spire off a little bit and lost a little command on that pitch there. Unfortunate that it happened, but then he strikes out for Mean. So, Spire was fine. If he comes in with the bases empty, you're not worried about that hit by pitch. It was just unfortunate to happen with the bases loaded. Brash was solid in the 7th, 1-2-3 inning there against the top of the Padres order. Thought that was a really key inning there by Matt Brash. The Padres just scored the 2 runs. You went down I think the Mariners actually had the bases loaded in the 6th inning, didn't score. Padres feeling some momentum there. Brash kind of put a stop to it with the top of the order up, so that was solid. We talked about Bizzardo. He throws a shutout inning, no hits, no walks, no runs, 2 strikeouts. Again, phenomenal from Edward Bizzardo. It got a little interesting in the 9th. It never seems to fail. We just can't have a 1-2-3 ninth now, can we? The Padres get the tying run to third base, and then Laureano grounds out. It started out with Arise grounding out. Cronenworth, who was just a pest all series in this one. And there's always some guy, right? And Cronenworth isn't bad by any means, but there's always that one person that this team just can't get out in certain series. It just doesn't matter. Cronenworth fouls off like 5 pitches at 99 and on his hands, then just drops one down the left field line that almost got out of the ballpark down the line there. Just missed a home run by a foot or two. Then Wagner flies out. Tatis takes a 2-strike pitch into right field. The goal there is you don't have to face Tatis, hopefully, but he comes through, delivers, gets to third base, and thankfully Laureano grounds out. He's fast enough, though, that even when Gino's throwing that across, like, man, if he throws this away, could be trouble, could be something. So you're still holding your breath there, but the Mariners do finish it out. And again, like with Munoz, it's weird because I think he looks fine. It's just things are kind of happening. Like, it's not that I don't have faith that he's going to get it done. It just seems to kind of always a few base runners seem to find their way on base. It didn't seem to have the great bite on the slider to Cronenworth, was just kind of stuck throwing fastballs, and I think that hurt him a little bit there. But he locks it down to the 9th, and the Mariners get a win. Mariners also put up 7 hits, 3 walks. I don't know if they had a hit by pitch. They did not have a hit by pitch. So 10 base runners, 4 runs. Again, would have been nice if they could have added on a run later. They probably got a little bad luck. Polanco has that ground rule double that I think would have scored Naylor. I think that was actually in the sixth when they ended up loading up the bases because Robles walked, then JP grounded out. A little bit of bad luck there. They had some opportunities to add on, just didn't hit with the runners in scoring position. But they get the run in the 2nd inning, then the big 3-run 4th inning to open it up. And listen, when the pitching's dialed in, we've talked about in the years past with this team, 4 runs should likely be enough when the pitching is dialed in and doing its job. 4 runs should be enough for them. Randy was 0 for 4. Cal 0 for 3, did have a walk. Julio, nice game, 2 for 4. Good to see a pretty solid series from Julio. Nothing like spectacular, but just kind of on base all series long. Josh Naylor was 1 for 3 with a walk. He had an at-bat with runners in scoring position. Would have been nice to get a base hit there, but Naylor on base twice. Gino continues to be red hot. 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, the 3-run home run, obviously. Also had the base hit that he scored on the Luke Raley double. We've talked about Gino, right? We saw him coming out of a little bit on the road trip where he looked better, and he had a huge homestand for the Mariners as well. So he's got it dialed in now. We're close. We're so close to having everybody at once. I guess you never get everybody dialed in at once, but it's like now Gino's got going. Randy's cooled down a little bit. JP's been pretty cold. Cole Young's actually cooled off a little bit. We haven't talked much about him because he hasn't played as much, but Polanco's gotten hot. But I guess, that's the nice thing about this lineup. There should be somebody at all points that is hot, right? There should be somebody dialed in. And right now it's Gino, and it was enough, and it was almost enough last night as well. And I shouldn't say Randy. I mean, Randy did have the 3-run home run yesterday, but, I think he's been a little cooler of late. Polanco 1 for 4, had that double that probably should have scored Naylor if it doesn't bounce over the fence. Luke Raley 1 for 2 with the RBI double. Like I said, really good to see Luke Raley contributing. It's been a while for him. Victor Robles was 0 for 1 pinched hit. He had a walk. Good to see Dan have Robles pinch hit there. It was the right call. Tough day for JP. He was 0 for 4. Had a bases loaded situation where you just love to see JP kind of dump one in there and would have made this one a little less heart attack game. And Cole Young 0 for 3. Cole Young scuffling a little bit. Wonder if we see more Polanco at second, Dom DHing, and then Luke Raley in right field. Might be not a bad idea to do that. Cole Young probably better range defensively than Polanco. But wouldn't hate seeing them do that a little bit. Obviously, Cole Young, have him stick here on the roster for sure, and you still want him in there, but wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of getting Dom and Luke, especially if Luke, can heat up a little bit, getting both their bats in the lineup would be really nice to see. So, yeah, I mean, offense does enough. And listen, it's also really good Padres pitching staff, right? They get to Hugh Darvish. He only goes 4 innings, 4 runs. Padres bullpen, again, even the guys, that aren't their relief aces, Morgan and Matsui, are good pitchers that they're able to use in a game where they're down by a couple runs. Mariners got some base runners against them. Really all series, or at least the last two games, had a lot of base runners against Padres bullpen. Just couldn't capitalize, on those situations, So listen, you want to, right? You want to capitalize. You could have maybe opened this game up a little bit more, but still some good at-bats. Like, I didn't think the at-bats were bad or anything against the Padres bullpen. So going to Cleveland, day off tomorrow is good. Gives everybody a chance to reset. You'll have your full arsenal going. Going to be a tough series, right? Cleveland's going to play desperate baseball. This is their chance. I think they're 5 behind you, maybe 6, 5 or 6. They don't have the tiebreaker right now. You win one game. Probably, truthfully, if you beat Cleveland once, they're probably done. Beating Cleveland once, though, probably isn't good enough because you want to keep Kansas City at bay and catch Houston. But in terms of Cleveland, I think if you just win one game, it probably eliminates them because it gives you the tiebreaker and you're leaving at worst 4 games up. It's going to be very difficult to make up. They'll have to play 5 games better than you with 25 to go. That's tough to do. But they're going to play desperate baseball, right? This is their chance. They have an opportunity. If Cleveland was the Mariners, I'd say this is it. This is your chance. You've got a 3-game set. If you can sweep it, which you kind of have to do from Cleveland's perspective, you're back in it. You are quietly back into this race. So you're going to get everything they've got this weekend. So be ready. Tampa's probably done. They're probably buried now. So they might pack it in a little bit by that series. And Atlanta, they're out of it too, but they've got enough talent to make it interesting. You're going to get Cleveland's best effort. So be ready. It's not going to be easy here down the stretch. The only real gimme series you may have is the Rockies, and there's no gimme, against any team in baseball for sure. So the Rockies beat Houston last night. So get ready. It's going to be a dogfight. It is going to be a dogfight the rest of the way. I think the team's capable. See if the pitching can pitch a little bit better on the road. We know the offense is capable. It has some spells, where they kind of disappear a little bit, but they do enough in their non-spells to make it work here. So let's have a good road series. And for right now, today, tomorrow, enjoy this homestand. Enjoy watching other teams stress out about baseball. That's all I've got for y'all. If you can like, if you can comment, if you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Remember, channel members, be on the lookout for some videos tomorrow and a live stream next week. And most importantly, and as always, go Mariners. 28 left. 28. We're almost there. Just get me in the playoffs. I want to talk playoff baseball with you guys. I've been doing this for this is year 3, and I haven't gotten to talk about a playoff game. I did some post games during the playoff series when I had like 8 subs. So I want to do it. I want to do some streams with you guys, with the playoffs. So just get us in. Love to win the division, but just want to get in the playoffs. Have a great night, everybody. Go Mariners. Peace.